Oda just changed the final saga forever by finally introducing the true abilities of Imu. And the deeper this story goes, the more disturbing these powers become. Domi Reversi. Each new reveal completely changes the way we understand the world government, the Void Century, and even some of the most important deaths in One Piece history. Oda finally gave a name to one of Imu's most terrifying abilities during the recent Elbaf chapters. Domi Reversi appears to be a power that allows Imu to completely dominate another person and slowly overwrite their will. The victim does not simply obey commands. Their body, personality, and even their very nature begin to change under Imu's influence. What makes this ability especially important is the growing connection to Rock's D. Xebec and the God Valley incident. During God Valley, the world government officially claimed that Garp and Roger defeated Xebec after his crew lost control. But the recent chapters may suggest something far darker happened behind the scenes. Xebec have originally been fighting Imu alongside Whitebeard, Roger, Garp, Big Mom, and Kaido, only to eventually be Domi Reversi by Imu, hence becoming too powerful and dangerous to control. Once that happened, Imu had complete control over him directly during the chaos of God Valley, leading to Xebec having to fight against Roger and Garp. This fight ended up in Roger and Garp combining their greatest attack, which took down Xebec, which led to his downfall and potential death. Yes, potential, because it hasn't been confirmed in the story. The God Valley incident was never simply a battle between pirates and marines. It has been the moment Imu erased one of their own failed servants from history entirely. The ability also feels unnatural compared to normal devil fruits. Most powers in One Piece still follow understandable rules connected to Haki or elemental abilities. Domi Reversi feels ancient, almost forbidden, as if Imu is directly rewriting the soul itself. Demonic transformation. The followers connected to Imu no longer resemble ordinary humans once the transformation fully begins. Their bodies develop monstrous features, dark markings, and glowing eyes that separate them from standard devil fruit users. Oda placed far more horror elements into these recent chapters than usual, making these transformations feel deeply unsettling. One major example appears through the recent changes surrounding members tied directly to Imu's influence. Characters who accepted this power suddenly gained monstrous physical boosts, while losing parts of their humanity in the process. Their loyalty also became unnaturally absolute, almost as if their identities had been erased. A clear example of this is Gunko, which got taken over by Imu in chapter 1149 and grew demonic wings, a tail, and a trident. At this state, it is Imu which has complete control over Gunko's body, and he can control her at will. This completely changes the atmosphere of the final saga. For years, the world government looked like a political empire hiding military secrets. Now, it feels closer to an ancient cult built around supernatural corruption. Even the Gorosei themselves seem less like ordinary rulers and more like servants of something far older and darker. Immortality. One of the oldest mysteries in One Piece is the fact that Imu has lived since the Void Century. Imu speaks about ancient events with a level of familiarity that no normal person should possess. This connects heavily to the Ope Ope no Mi and its eternal youth operation. If Imu received that surgery centuries ago, it would explain how the hidden ruler of the world has remained untouched while entire kingdoms disappeared throughout history. There are also strong hints that several important historical figures may have been connected to Imu across different eras. For example, in the chapter 1181, we see that Joy Boy and Imu seem to be friends. Something may have happened, which I believe have a link to Imu's fruit corrupting him. Imu has spent centuries manipulating generations of powerful individuals from the shadows, slowly shaping history without ever revealing their existence. That possibility makes the world government even more terrifying. It would mean the same ruler has silently controlled the world for over 800 years, while entire civilizations rose and fell beneath them. Black Flames. The black flames surrounding Imu's abilities have become one of the most mysterious powers introduced in the final saga. Unlike ordinary fire in One Piece, these flames behave more like dark energy than actual heat. They spread unnaturally and seem connected to life force itself. One of the clearest examples happened with Killingham and Summers. After coming into contact with this dark energy, both characters appeared to recover while receiving a massive increase in strength. Instead of burning them, the flames acted like a corrupted healing source that enhanced their abilities. Summers was able to carry an entire ship in his back after being healed by Imu. At the same time, these flames can also devastate opponents directly. During the recent clashes, even powerful fighters like Zoro struggled against attacks connected to this energy. The damage looked different from ordinary wounds, almost as if the flames attacked both the body and spirit simultaneously. That dual nature makes the power extremely dangerous. Imu's flames can strengthen allies while destroying enemies, making them feel closer to divine punishment than a normal combat ability. The Covenants. Another massive reveal in the recent chapters is the existence of covenants tied to Imu. These appear to function like binding contracts that permanently connect a person to Imu's power in exchange for strength or influence. The strongest example involves Harold. Recent information shows us that Harold carried one of these covenants, which have directly caused his death. Instead of being a normal alliance, the covenant seems to slowly consume the individual until they are no longer truly free. It is basically a deal with the devil in which you can't break control. There are 3 levels: shallows, depths, and abyssal. Harold got killed because he had the 2nd level of the covenant, which led to total control of Imu over his actions, which led to his death. This also connects directly to Loki's actions during the current Elbaf conflict. Loki now appears to be fighting against Imu's influence itself, since he understands the truth behind Harold's fate. That gives the recent battles a much deeper meaning than simple political conflict. The covenants perfectly fit One Piece's central themes. Luffy represents complete freedom, while Imu's contracts represent total submission. Every person connected to Imu gains power, but loses a part of themselves in return. The eyes. Imu's eyes remain one of the strangest visual details in the entire series. Oda constantly focuses on them during scenes involving fear, control, or supernatural authority. Their design immediately separates Imu from every other character in One Piece. What became especially interesting during the recent transformation scenes is that one of Imu's eyes appeared partially hidden. That small detail may actually be extremely important. Many fans now believe Imu possesses a hidden eye connected to another unknown ability, or a completely different form of power. Oda often hides critical information through visual symbolism rather than direct explanations. Covering one eye could suggest that Imu has not yet revealed their full form or true abilities. It may even connect to ancient knowledge from the Void Century itself. There are also moments where characters seem frozen simply by looking at Imu. The fear feels unnatural, almost as if the eyes themselves carry some form of spiritual pressure beyond ordinary conqueror's haki. The Devil Connection. With Imu's powers being called Devil's Fruit, the recent chapters of One Piece push the idea that Imu may not simply possess a devil fruit, but instead stands much closer to the origin of devil-related powers in One Piece. Characters increasingly describe Imu using language connected to demons, darkness, and forbidden existence. Vegapunk already explained that devil fruits may come from human desires and unnatural possibilities. Imu now feels deeply connected to that mystery. Instead of being another user, Imu may represent the source from which these corrupted powers originally emerged. That possibility changes the final saga completely. The ending of One Piece may no longer be only about pirates fighting the government. It may become a battle between freedom itself and an ancient force built entirely around domination. fear, and control.